If you want to see how I created this makeup look, this is like an everyday day party makeup look, then watch this video. In the future, I'm going to do like out makeup look, which is probably the same as this, but just a little bit more. So yeah, watch this video and see how I achieve this makeup look. Okay, for these next steps, I'm going to show you how to prepare the base that's needed to set your foundation routine. So the first thing that I like to do is use the MAC Prep and Prime and then rub that into my face. I don't know, for some weird reason I do this so aggressively. There's no need, but you know, rub it in and then let it dry for a little bit. Then we're going to add a bit of setting powder. So I like to use the Lancome No Time No Shine and lightly dab that on my face. You can use like Laura Mercier translucent setting powder, but make sure you blow away any excess and then just dab it lightly on your face. Don't put too much though. Then I like to set with the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. Make sure you mist your face. I sprayed it a little bit too close, so spray from a distance and let it sort of mist. Don't spray it too close. And then make sure you let it dry before we put on the foundation. Don't judge me, y'all. I like to use makeup samples because I realized that when I buy foundation, I never use it. So in this case, I use two colors, which are from the Dior Forever Skin Glow. For my inner face, I use 7N. From the outer part of the perimeter, I use 8N. And then I just put it on. These are all samples because I don't buy foundation bottles because I never actually finish them and there's just no point. So the samples last me a long time. So anyway, in the inner parts of my face, I use 7N. This is the Dior Forever Skin Glow. And then on the outer parts of my face, I use 8N. Okay, so lightly dampen your blending brush with vitamin E spray. Make sure it's not too wet and make sure it's not dry. It just needs to be like lightly damp. So I like to rub off any excess water on like my arm, and then we go ahead and blend. I don't really have like a technique, but I think the best way to do it is like the inner parts you sort of blend outwards and then the outer parts you sort of blend inwards. I might just be lying though, but you know. Now I like to use the concealer, NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, under my eyes, on my nose, on my forehead. Yeah, this is the one that I've been using. For some reason, I just don't get along with drugstore concealer. It just doesn't do it for me. In fact, drugstore concealers actually give me bad reactions. I can't lie, I have really good skin. But whenever I use makeup that isn't of good quality, it really affects my skin. And especially concealers. I tried to use the Makeup Revolution concealer once and my skin just reacted. So I like to use the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, and yeah. So here I'm using a mini brush. Make sure you dampen the brush with the vitamin E spray again and go ahead and blend. I tend to use a sponge, but I lost the sponge. And you'd follow the same procedure. You'd dampen it with vitamin E spray and then blend. But yeah, in this case, I just had to use what was there, and it was just this little small brush. But usually I would use a sponge to blend the concealer. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is set my concealer with the Lancome No Time No Shine. Because I don't have a sponge, usually I use a sponge, I'm just gonna lightly dab using my fingers. Usually I'd use a sponge, I'd remove any excess and then go ahead and dab it on top of where I put my concealer. Let it set for a bit and then remove with a brush. Following on from that, lightly mist your face with vitamin E setting spray. In this case, I put too much, but spray your face lightly from a distance and then let your face dry. The next thing I like to do is sort of shape my face, define my face. I don't know what you call this, but I just like to add a little, dimension to my face. Using the Bobbi Brown foundation stick, I like to use it in the perimeters of my face and just to add a little bit of color and a little bit of definition. If I'm going out, I might add a little bit more, but because it's daytime, I'm not adding too much. We just want to add a little bit of definition, but if I was going out, I'd add a little bit more. So I'm going to bronze my face with the Revolution Glow Bronzer. Make sure you put on a little bit and then blow away any excess, because this is really heavily pigmented. So when I go out, I only put like one layer. And then if I want to like add a bit more dimension, I'm going out, like in the nighttime, I'll just keep adding thin layers at a time. I don't add a lot in one go because it's heavily pigmented, it just looks messy. I just add thin layers each time. I want to make it more and more bronze. Like to go on and add the Becca Cosmetics Multitasking Perfecting Powder. You have to add a little bit because this is really dark. So again, I just remove any excess and then just blot around. Just add a little bit of color, but don't put too much, otherwise it'll come out like really dark. I like to set with the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. Again, mist your face with the setting spray and let it dry. This setting spray is just magical. I absolutely love it. So you might find this really weird. I use this lipstick from Revlon, I think, and I just dab it lightly on my face. And I use that as a blush. It just works really well. Like, it's really weird. It's like this lipstick and I use it as a blush. I just put 3 strokes on my cheek and then just blend it. I went ahead and did my brows, put on mascara primer, then put on mascara, and then added some lip gloss. Let me tell you something, if you want to do the whole shebang, then add some eyelashes. But in this case, I just did my brows and used mascara. But yeah, this is the finished look. I hope you liked it. And yeah, it didn't take me long. It took me like half an hour really. So I hope you liked it.